Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. This is Carol Parisi. Jack Roser and myself are speaking with Jim Edwards. And Jim, thank you for joining us today. Anything our listeners should know, any way they can contact you, any way they can help? And
well, they can help contribute, but we only need 6. The Republican Party only needs 6 pickups in the House or 6 pickups in the Senate to have a majority.
Both is what we want.
And if they do, then they at least put the Democrats in check. We're going to support about 70 candidates, and it takes money to support them. Mm-hmm. They need help. We're going to help them as much as we can, but it's all dependent upon the kind of money that flows in to help their campaigns.
Under the rules that have been imposed by the Democrats to deliberately hold the money back,
that's right,
because Democrats have plenty of money. Madigan downstate gets huge amounts of money from the teachers union,
right,
from the other unions, mm-hmm, and from the trial attorneys. He's famous for that. Mm-hmm. He laughed at some Republicans that put together a $3 million fund earlier in the year. That's chicken feed to him. He's got a lot of dough. The rich bunch there isn't the Republicans. It's hard to get money. It's the Democrats. They got a ton of dough, and they're in power, and they're like leeches pulling money out of the people are making money out of government contracts for the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago. They're getting lots of kickbacks. That's why it's known as crooked. So they're rich. Don't believe that the Republicans are the rich one. Mm-hmm. And the Democrats have imposed rules, so it's very hard to contribute a great deal of money. You're limited to generally $5,000 to $10,000. So the real rich guys that are piling money in for the Democrats, it's not possible for the Republicans to do that. So send in your hundreds and low thousands up to $5,000 can be contributed that will wind its way into the Tea Party and the legitimate Republican candidates. So it's going to take a lot of contributors at a fairly low level to fund this coming election.
Well, and what I'd like to see is pick up the 6 seats in the House and the Senate. Then in 2014, let's win the governorship, and then we'll start investigating all the corruption of the Democrats and pick them apart in a state that is considered the cesspool of the nation.
We have 2 groups that are going to be working on keeping the election more honest than it's ever been before in man's recent memory. We've got the Defend the Vote with Sharon Maroney and many other people. They're organized, even getting support on a national basis, mm-hmm, to see that at least the administration of the vote is conducted the way it's supposed to be. We have another group coming in that's going to get a lot of attorneys into the nursing homes and into the problematic districts, especially in Chicago. We're going to have those Democrats looking over their shoulder before they pull their crazy stunts about stealing the vote. They've been famous for stealing the vote. We're going to catch them in the act this year. They better not try it.
Well, you know what? This is going to wrap up another great edition of Champion News Talk Radio. Thank you, Jim Edwards. And let's get some good lawmakers in there with the political will. And we need to get people to defend the vote. And speaking of getting out the vote, on October 26th, this Thursday at the Schaumburg Library, there's going to be a Get Out the Vote training. So join us in Schaumburg this Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Schaumburg Library in Roselle. And this is going to wrap up another great edition of Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. This is your choice for the conservative voice. You can catch us here every week on AM 560 at 8 a.m. on WIND. That's Champion News Talk Radio, and you can check and download a podcast at championnews.net. This is Carol Parisi, looking forward to seeing you back here next week. Make it a great week.